So I want you guys to picture yourself in a college classroom. How do you know who's in that class? How do you connect and follow up with people in that class? Colleges expect students to communicate and cooperate just because they put them in close proximity to one another, but it's not that simple. Current solutions out there, like Blackboard, are either too teacher-oriented or they are too broad and they serve the whole community and they aren't really specific to each classroom. And we want it to be specific to each classroom. And disconnected students, disconnected students can feel separated from learning curriculum teachers, peers, and students will sit through a whole class and will be confused and won't ask a single question because they're afraid they're gonna be stupid or ask a stupid question. The reason that I created Splatter is because no one's perfect. I'm not perfect, the audience isn't perfect. The only people here that are perfect are the three judges in front of me. But everyone misses their homework once or doesn't know an answer to a question in class and really doesn't have any solution when they get home to help figure out their problem. So all they have to do, the only solution they have now is to email their teacher. But if students could just collaborate and come up with solutions together, they could figure out a solution to a problem much quicker than they could if they had to email the teacher, who always takes forever to email back. According to a study done by the Pew Research Center, communication is one of the most important skills to have for long-term success. And a lot of students don't really have that and they don't have an access to getting that. Communication between students improves many aspects of the college classroom, from personal growth to fast performance to self-esteem. Students need a solution that simplifies the student connection and is the catalyst for dynamic communication between students that allows them to freely collaborate in like a worry-free zone. So what I've done is build a web-based platform that allows students, club organizers, and club members to discover new ways to learn, building off one another instead of only the teacher within the typical hierarchy of a classroom. Splatter enables its members to discover new ways to learn, Splatter enables its members to connect, network, and communicate with one another like they never could before. We achieve this by matching students based on their class schedules and giving each class access to separate chat groups. By doing this, we extend classes beyond the classroom and really give students a chance to learn in a new way. If I said we didn't have competition, I'd be lying, because every business has competition, and we're not an exception to this. But we set ourselves apart from the competition because we are student-focused. There is no teacher interaction on the site, and we are specific to each school, each teacher, and each class. Currently, we have over 80 users, confirmed users on the site, and we're working to get backed by SGA Towson, so we can use Towson as our pilot school. And then we will have the ability, once we have proof of concept here at Towson, we have the ability to franchise to colleges around Baltimore, then Maryland, and then eventually the entire nation. There are currently 22 million college students enrolled in classes, and that's a large market. And what better person to bring this idea to the market than me? I understand the market. I am the market. I'm a college student. I understand what they want. And what Splatter brings to the student is improved grades, improved spectrum of knowledge to pull from, increased networking capabilities, increased social skills, along with many other things. The opportunities moving forward with Splatter are endless because we have the ability to adapt to student needs as we progress. Communication, the human connection, is key to personal and career success, and that's something that I strongly believe in. There are many successful business models out there that show you can be successful just by having access to large groups of people, but this is not something I want to rely on, so that's why initially I have a plan to refer students to book sites through affiliate links, integrate selling books onto the site, allow students who have taken the class in the past access to the site to tutor students for a small fee that we would take a percentage of, and even integrate micro-purchases onto the site. One thing we will never do is charge for the site. And the reason for that is the fact that it's free is the carrot that drives the horse that drives the cash cart. And if we start charging for the site, college students aren't going to want to come because they already have enough to pay for it. Our costs up front our costs are minimal, and we have low overhead, which makes our risk very minimal. And with that said, we are always looking for people to join Spider's team. Thank you. Spider.
Thank you so much. Everyone give it up for Mr. Ryan. Thank you very much, Ryan. Our judges will now deliberate. 5 minutes again, judges.
Yes, sir. I'd love to hear your, the idea, where did it come from? What was the aha moment?
Well, it's just, I noticed that it's so hard to get connected with students in your class. Like, unless you walk up to like 1 or 2 people in your class, you're only going to get connected with the people sitting next to you, maybe, if you walk up to them and get their phone number or their email address. But that's only if you're a really sociable person and you're easy to, it's easy for you to approach people, but most people just don't have that capabilities to do that. And it just makes it easier for them to communicate with their classmates as a whole instead of just a small part of them.
And no teachers?
Mm-hmm.
No teachers.
Not at all.
How do you keep honesty? How are you not sharing answers on this?
Well,
This might be a question for you.
I guess it would just have to be like, I guess it would just be like any other thing. It's just integrity. It's just students, if they get caught. This would be recorded, so I mean, that anyone could get. We could go on if there was like something brought up.
Are you sharing it with the teachers?
No.
So who's going to get them in trouble? How many people could swear that they would never post a question on here that you needed help with just because you needed an answer?
Well, either way, if you're posting a question, it's going to be from home, so it's going to be a homework question or something that you're allowed to collaborate with your friends with. You wouldn't be able to ask a question on a test because you wouldn't have to be able to have your phone out. So I mean,
I'm less worried about the cheating because college gets good anyway. There's plenty of yes, it happens. There are plenty of other sites where if they want to ask that question, they can do it quickly. But more, it feels to me mostly like a feature on an LMS that it just requires a button switch to create an unmoderated classroom to which faculty don't have access. Mm-hmm. So, which would be the way you'd have to distribute it anyway. You'd sort of need the class to buy in. You need the college to buy in because they have all the data anyway. So they'd be the ones who kind of preset it up. You'd plug it into the SIS.
I mean, we got all our data from like outside sources where we get all the classrooms, the class sections, everything we need without having any connection to anyone in the college. So
you could, but to get people to actually, I mean, so you would have a small group who would participate, but to get the whole class to get involved, ultimately you're going to have a more facilitated way of people getting into the technology, using technology.
Yeah, I mean, we have a website now, but it's just, right now it's just you log on, you put your class schedule in, and you get matches of everyone who's in your class. We don't yet have the chat groups or all the other fancy features.
Right. I guess again, it's sort of what the problem is you're solving. People could do it via chat rooms in the course. They can do it through informal chat rooms outside of the course. Their Facebook groups.
Yeah,
but and I could be wrong. People said this about Twitter, of course. Mm-hmm. You know, look what happened. But so that's really my question. So what is it that will really drive people to use that in a way they can't do any other way?
Well, I think it's just there's no way that you can connect with a whole. There's no service that brings the whole classroom together and lets them communicate just as their class. Like you can create a group on Facebook, then you have to find everyone on Facebook. You have to do all this stuff. All you have to do for this is put in your class schedule, and it automatically matches you with people who are in your classes. So it just makes it 10 times easier to really just communicate with your classes without like the pressure of a teacher always looking at what you're saying, so you can feel comfortable asking questions, comfortable doing whatever you need to do in the chat group without all the other problems.
What do you see that outcome being? What's the difference in the conversation or the learning that happens via Splatter?
I think the difference between us and others is that we're just how comfortable the students would be in the chat group, and just all around Splatter would just give students like a new way to communicate, a fresh way to communicate. All around, I think it would just be an easier way for students to communicate.
I'm really interested in the idea, and I actually didn't really think about the honesty piece of it because maybe I'm in Burke's camp where students are going to cheat. I mean, it happens. It's no big deal. But I like the idea that you got. I mean, it is a big deal. It's not a big deal. don't cheat in my classes. But I think it's really interesting, and I'm constantly trying to get you guys to interact with each other more and collaborate and think independently and enhance each other's learning. So I am very interested in the idea, and I don't know that there's a product out there that's doing that exact thing.
Yeah, I guess what I would be afraid of is, let's say you prove success, and this is something that adds value to the class. All the big LMS companies have to do is add button,
Oh, I see.
and then your business is not. So it is a feature extension as opposed to sort of a new business. And so maybe there's a way to turn it into a business or to get traction or to sell it quickly to one of the LMS companies. But there's nothing, and they would have the additional benefit of being able to automatically enroll everybody into that platform without having to find the students to do it themselves. So that's the biggest concern. Even if we were successful, it would be cannibalized by somebody else.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think you always have to worry about the big guy coming in and taking what you're building, but I mean, if everyone was always afraid of the big guy taking what they're building, they would never build anything. So I think we just have to worry about getting there quick and getting it done fast. And I think if we get there, we'll be so ahead and have so many users and be at so many colleges that it won't matter that they try to copy us or try to steal what we made. But
Thank you.